And welcome to the WAN Show. We've got a great show lined up for you guys this week. Well, no, for real. We say that every week. Every single week we say that. But
sometimes
today
we don't mean it.
Today we have a great show lined up for you. There's a Wi-Fi takeover attack vulnerability in Windows, and all Windows users have been warned to update now. There is a mitigation. There's a mitigation now, but you should update your Windows now. If you're out of date. This is one of those things like, dude, what was the one? Blaster. This is like Blaster on Windows XP, where like, you know, if you've got you're installing off of a disk, okay, you're installing off of a disk. Do you remember this?
I don't remember this,
dude. If you installed Windows XP off of a disk, like non-service pack Windows XP, at post Blaster, and you had your Ethernet cable plugged in, you would be completely destroyed before you even could install antivirus. Really? Yeah, wow. It was crazy. It was crazy. All right, what else we got this week? Oh no. We're going to be talking about this. Dude, I have no excuse. I'm going to have to switch to an iPhone.
Really?
I mean, what do I have? What excuse do I have left?
I don't know.
So we're going to be talking about WWDC. What else we got this week?
YouTube is testing server-side ad injection. You heard it here first. It's over. Not really, but you know, it is what it is. Also, the NAS software that you've been kind of teasing for a long time, we have some news. It's not here, but we have some news.
We definitely have an update for you guys. So that's the NAS software that I've invested in as kind of like, well, I think of myself as an angel regardless of whether I'm investing in something or not. But I've definitely taken on the role of angel investor in the sense that I was like, here's a bushel of money.
Please
have fun.
Create the thing.
Yeah, or don't.
Oh, we are matching shirts.
Oh my god. Yeah, not intentional. The show is brought to you today by MSI, Grammarly, and Vessi, and of course our chair partner, Secret Lab. Why don't we jump right into our first topic of the week, which is, of course, the Wi-Fi takeover attack that has got all Windows users being warned to update now. Microsoft has confirmed a new and pretty alarming Wi-Fi vulnerability in Windows, which has been rated 8.8. Isn't that great? Out of 10 in terms of severity using the Common Vulnerability Scoring System. The vulnerability, assigned as CVE-2024-30078.
Very memorable.
Does not require an attacker to have physical access to the targeted computer, although physical proximity is needed since it uses Wi-Fi. And exploiting this vulnerability can allow an unauthenticated attacker to gain remote code execution permissions on the impacted device.
That's bad.
That's super bad. So they can just execute code.
Very bad.
Very bad. All Windows versions? What do you mean by all Windows versions? You mean like 10 and 11? You don't mean 95, do you?
Because I don't think that has Wi-Fi. Could you make that work? Somebody's
probably done it. Don't tempt them.
Yeah.
Hackaday and those people. You know what those people do.
They said it couldn't be done.
So I committed 6 years of my life to getting working like Apple AirTag Find My support on Windows 3.1. Like we know that's I believe you. Do something productive.
I think it's like all reasonably modern.
What do you mean those people? You know who I'm talking about.
I did read a warning somewhere that they were saying if you're running like not currently supported versions of Windows that you might want to, upgrade your Windows because those are also impacted.
Ooh, so this is big update.
I was kind of wondering
It's a big update conspiracy theory.
A lot of this kind of, especially the like advice from Microsoft.
It's just like, actually, I suspect it's less conspiracy theory and more not giving a fuck about.
It's like, yeah, we told you it wasn't supported. Come on. figure it out.
Get on with it.
But you could tell it felt like there's a little bit of an undertone.
Come on in. The waters, you can move the Windows button over to the left and bring back the show the desktop thing.
Come on in. The search sucks and there's ads everywhere.
Oh my God.
You got wrecked with that. I heard it happen.
I'm not going to spoil anything else about Scrapyard Wars 9, but I was searching for... What was I searching for?
I was doing a similar thing.
It was some application that I needed. Was it FrameView? No. I was trying to turn off sleep.
Yeah. Yes.
I searched for sleep in Windows search.
I remember what you got too.
Dude, no, you didn't see my screen though.
No, but I heard you.
It literally wasn't even there. It was not one of the results. So I searched for sleep and pressed enter because, that should probably bring up, power control and sleep and all that.
And it would have back in the day.
And instead, it loaded up Sleep Country fucking Canada, which is a terrible, terrible website.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else,
bad mattresses.
Because there's better deals and better mattresses, maybe.
Exactly. Got him.
That was funny, though.
Roasted.
We were instructed to do that at the same time. I type in sleep, and at the same time I hear, Sleep Country, Canada! That was so good. That was one of the highlights. It's a very...
It's going to put a lot of pressure on our editors, but this is the best season ever.
Season 4 has a pretty special space in my heart.
That was with Bob and Rod, right?
It's going to be tough.
It is the best season ever.
Okay. It's
You haven't seen my side yet.
No. And even just seeing my side is going to be very strong. So I could see it. I just, season 4 is kind of a little special to me, at least. I don't know. It
is the best season ever.
All right.
I'm very excited. And you know what? The editing team's going to do a great job, and I'm not worried about that.
There's a few moments, and again, I won't go into them, but there's a few moments, especially synchronized moments, that I think are going to be insane to see in the edit. Like, just absolutely nuts to see in the edit. And there's not one, there's a few. So,
yeah it's going to be great.
We'll see.
All right, so let's continue on with this.
Yeah. Microsoft has confirmed that with no special access conditions or extenuating circumstances, none of those are needed. Apart from the proximity requirement, an attacker could expect repeatable success against the vulnerable component. Microsoft also warns that an attacker requires no authentication as a user before exploiting this vulnerability, nor any access to settings or files on the victim's machine before carrying out the attack. Furthermore, the user of the targeted device does not need to interact at all. There is no link to click, no image to load, no file to execute. Now, I wanted to add at the end, we're not security experts.
Nope, especially not me.
Jake sent this in the infrastructure chat 20 minutes before we went live.
Yep.
And I was just
this is breaking news. Very
that
much
looks serious.
Developing.
If you're interested in this, you should find security experts online or something and read what they have to say about it. We don't know much about it. We just read it right before the show. Thanks, Forbes, whatever. Just go update your system, come back. If you want to learn more, check somebody else out. That's it. Should we move on to WWDC? Just dive right in? Or do you want me to do a topic while you do that? I can do that.
No, let's dive right in.
All right.
WWDC, as a relatively low, how would I describe myself? As a light Apple ecosystem dabbler. I've used the devices. People forget this. It's amazing how many people think I'm just some kind of Apple hater and I hate the company and I hate their products or whatever.
Well, when you're using this now, you'll be an Android hater.
I know, right? I dailied the iPhone 4 for
a long time.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I dailied the iPhone 6S for over a year.
I was going to say a bit, yeah.
Yeah, for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I've never gotten into macOS.
No.
That's never really been my jam. There's stuff I need to do. I have work to do. And macOS is great for certain things, especially with Apple Silicon. The battery life there's been nothing comparable on the Windows side, at least not yet.
I'm a little jelly of MacBooks right now.
I didn't.
Windows.
I don't know. I don't know if it's in the dock, but I saw that there's some early Snapdragon Elite or Snapdragon X Elite benchmarks that are looking not as exciting as we might have hoped, which is really disappointing. So I've been kind of getting hyped, and now I'm like a little more cautiously. Maybe I hope to be optimistic at some point. Anyway, we just really haven't had a response to that. But other than that, there's nothing that really draws me into macOS, and being in the industry that we're in, which is kind of a lot of different industries. Like, we do some media, which Mac is super friendly for, but we also do some maker stuff, which Mac is a lot less friendly for. Like, I don't think SolidWorks is supported at all. And that's something that we have multiple teams that rely on. So it's just like, if we're going to be on an ecosystem, we have to be on something that we can all be on. Otherwise, we're supporting this like random mix. And we actually are supporting a random mix.
We are
these days, but it's relatively limited on the Mac side.
And not going to lie, it is pretty annoying. We're working on making it less annoying. It is possible for it to be less annoying. But even like our like remote management stuff, we like basically need another system for Apple. You basically need two systems.
So even as a light user, the only Apple product that I daily drive today is my AirPods Pro 2s. Yeah. Even as a light user, WWDC was legitimately very exciting this year. So we have a full video on WWDC, so we're not going to go through absolutely everything, but the team did put together a bullet list of kind of everything that Apple announced, and bolded are the ones that they suspect that I will be most excited about. We kind of glossed over it in the video.
This is a lot of things bolded.
But, dude, T9 dialing.
Oh, I didn't actually hear about that. All right. So they're catering to you specifically.
Someone at Apple finally listened. And you know what? I don't think it has anything to do with me. I don't actually have a big enough ego to think that someone at Apple was like, I've been doing this a lot this show so far.
Let's win over the Canadian.
Let's bring him into the fold. It's time. You know, I don't actually think that happened. But what I do think has happened at Apple, and what a lot of these things feel like to me, is a bit of an attitude adjustment.
Okay.
These are all things, the things that I'm most excited about. So the ability to really, though, actually for real, customize your home screen layout.
Yeah.
And put an icon anywhere you want.
I don't feel like it should be that huge to me, but it's huge to me.
But
my home screen has always been almost blank. And it's important to me.
And dude, I am not going to put stuff I need to interact with at the top. Physiologically, it doesn't make any sense for me because I have small hands and I can't reach it. I can reach the bottom. Everything I need to do frequently, there you go, is in the bottom right. So that's where my email is. That's where Chrome is. That's where I have a folder called Social that contains things like Teams, because I don't have a real social life. I just have my paid friends. But so like media, social navigation, storage and docs, email, Chrome, that's all there. And then everything else that's kind of out here is stuff that I need once in a while. And so the way that iOS worked, where I just had to like stack up garbage or put unnamed folders to take up space.
I've seen that.
Oh, so stupid. It's just such an unnecessary, completely asinine workaround. And you guys won't have to hear me whine about it ever again, because Apple has finally just acknowledged that the only reason they weren't doing it was just user hostility and outright stubbornness. Like it had nothing to do with that this was difficult or something they couldn't do. It was just because they didn't feel like it. And it was the same way with T9 dialing. I've talked about this before, and I get it. You, Johnson, you don't understand T9 dialing, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. You can just not fucking use it because
it's not in the way.
Because T9 dialing doesn't get in your way. You can continue to type on a keyboard like a caveman instead of using T9 dialing like a whole man. You know? Well, I mean, look, they both existed if anything, T9 came first. We're less advanced. But the point is T9 dialing doesn't impact your ability to search for a contact with your keyboard. It doesn't matter. You can continue to do that. But it's something that I've said time and time again. a skilled Apple developer could literally implement in probably an afternoon, plus all the time it takes to validate and
junk.
All the other stuff. But in terms of the actual development of that feature, it is negligible by modern standards.
It would be very fast.
And the only reason that they haven't done it is just, I don't know, because Android has that feature, and I don't know, having something that Android had first, except that half the things that they do, Android had first. So I've never been able to understand it. But it's great. It's freaking awesome. It's so much faster. It means that you don't have to program favorites. You don't have to remember anyone's number. You just start dialing their name. You don't dial the number. So you, Martha, who doesn't understand what T9 dialing is, I've tried so many times to explain it and had people argue with me that it's slower. And I'm just like, I actually can't anymore. Like, you've not listened. And now you're yammering at me, and this is not a real conversation because you haven't heard a thing that I've said. So it's really, really exciting to me. But what's exciting to me about those two things in particular is those are two things that Apple absolutely knew. They absolutely knew that competing platforms had them. They absolutely knew that they were easy to implement. And they absolutely knew that their users wanted them.
Yeah.
So they knew all of these things.
They're not intrusive to users that don't want them. Exactly.
They knew all of those things, and they didn't do them because, I don't know, you. That's why. That's the only reason I can think of. And here they are. And here they are at the same time. And here they are alongside a whole bunch of other really cool stuff that basically eliminates any reason that I would need to stay on it. I shouldn't say any reason. Sideloading is still a huge one for me, but eliminates almost any reason that I would need to stay on Android.
I respect that being an important reason. Do you actually do sideloading?
I actually need it. Okay. There is one stupid smart home appliance that I have that is not approved for sale in Canada. I imported one from the UK. And because I'm on a Canadian App Store and Play Store account with a Canadian credit card, I cannot install the app for it unless I sideload it.
That's frustrating.
Yeah. So no, sideloading does matter unless it doesn't to you, in which case that's great. But if you do need it, you do need it.
Yep.
Don't tell me what I can and can't install on my phone. If I get the thing and I decide I'm going to, take the risk and use this thing that is not for sale in my country, then I'll use it. It's not up to you. So that's definitely something that's holding me back. But man, this is great. RCS support. RCS is coming. So it really does feel not like just some stuff that they're doing to, think differently and be Apple about it. This really feels like, oh crap, the legislators are coming. Not coming, they have come. The legislators have come. It's time for us to appeal to our users in a, we don't have you held hostage anymore. Stuff that you want, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Be so happy about this. And remember iPhone is great and has all this stuff that is really good. And it really is. It is really good. This looks awesome. ChatGPT integration. That's cool. The fact that Apple is paying for it, so you aren't paying any more than what you're paying for your Shiny Eye device or your iCloud subscription or whatever else. So if Siri can answer the question, she'll answer the question. And Apple actually has some of that running locally, which is super, super cool. And then if it's too complicated for Siri, then it'll fall back to ChatGPT. And if you have a paid ChatGPT account, you can bring some of your paid features over. But otherwise, it's just free.
I don't think Apple's actually paying for it. I think just like no one is. I think Apple is paying in quotes through distribution, not cash.
Paying in exposure. Sorry. Excuse me. So whatever the compensation is.
If you want like advanced features,
you do have to pay.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of the basics, Apple has sorted it out, and you will basically get. I think they're using GPT-4 Omni.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as my understanding goes.
So you'll get the latest ChatGPT, which is super cool. They've got Clean App AI photo object removal. Yeah. The Photos app redesigned, so it's now a lot more similar to Google Photos, which is legitimately really great. Let's see what else we got. You can app blocking and hiding. Oh, app blocking and hiding is super cool.
What's that?
You can basically have apps hidden so that if a different user is using the device, they don't even know that it's installed and no notification will pop up. So the joke we made in the video was like if I had Grindr and I didn't want Yvonne to see it, then I could like lock that. I could hide that app entirely, and even media that
How's
that
it
app.
Different user though. Oh, because this is not okay. This is for.
This is on iPad OS.
Yeah. Okay.
And iOS actually.
So it's not phone. I was still thinking phone.
And if I handed it to my kids or whatever, then I can lock away certain apps, which is super cool.
That is cool.
The iPad calculator is super cool.
You might want like Reddit or Twitter, places where things might get posted that are you don't necessarily want them seeing.
Absolutely. Let's see. What else we got here? macOS. Yeah, the iPhone mirroring thing on macOS is super cool. It's like kind of like a remote desktop-ish thing. You can like take phone calls and stuff. What else we got? Window tiling. Yeah, macOS is looking a little bit better. Yeah, they finally have like suggestions for window layouts when you drag the thing over.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm talking about though. It's stuff that just obviously
should have been there a long time.
Should have been dealt with ages ago, and they're just like it's like the entire team is just assigned to finding those things that people have been whining about for 10 years and just get it done. Just get it done. So cool.
Someone mentioned in terms of like the app locking.
All it took was some antitrust.
Antitrust is good, man. Someone mentioned along with the app locking thing that like banking apps, and if you have like some form of I don't know, I was going to say government apps. I can't think of any that are currently active, but I know like the COVID passport stuff was a thing for a while. You can have those locked down. That's pretty nice.
Someone pointed out, yes, taking phone calls on your Mac has been a thing for like a decade with what is it, continuity or whatever it is. Yes, but the basically just having like your iPhone just be like a little thing. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you could take a phone call, but you could also do like anything else. I have to imagine that they're using a lot of the same work that they did for the Vision Pro for like desktop projection. I mean, now that everything's running on the same silicon, essentially.
So someone said, oh, where'd it go?
Safari Reader mode is crazy, by the way. It will like de-emphasize the unimportant parts of a page.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's like not ad block, but it's essentially Linus Vision.
It's like a focus mode. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I might actually use that because I use have I told you my 3 paragraphs trick?
What is your 3 paragraphs trick?
Whenever I open an article, I always skip the first 3 paragraphs. If it's like if I'm in like my Google News feed and I click on something, I immediately scroll 3 paragraphs down. Because it's like when the article title is like something that I'm interested in, the first 3 paragraphs are almost always fluff because they want you to scroll down to get through the ads.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I just skip them and go right through it. And I find the 3rd or 4th paragraph is usually when they start hitting the like meat of the article. Mackie Bean in Full Plane Chat said, for window snapping, macOS couldn't do that before because Microsoft actually had a patent. There's got to be ways around it.
Yeah, I'm sure they could have figured out a way around it.
He just suggested layouts, not actually window snapping. That's a way that you could think of to work around it, right?
Yeah, and they're doing it now. Patents expire after what, like 15 years or something like that? It hasn't been that long, so they clearly figured it out.
Yeah, there's got to be ways.
Man, so cool. Oh, there's unannounced, but discovered in the iOS 18 beta. Voicemail notifications, including transcription.
That's nice.
Custom charging limits, 80 to 100%.
That's nice.
Something that just should have been a thing. Like back when they had that whole debacle around the batteries degrading.
Yeah, they should have launched that at the same time.
It should have just immediately been a thing. There's absolutely no reason for it to have not been a thing.
100%.
Flashlight beam pattern adjustment. Okay, that's super cool. Visual side button press indicators. Mixed language keyboards, for example, Spanglish. Okay,
Interesting.
that's super cool.
That is
like
cool.
Seriously, Yeah, I'm sure we could talk about a lot more of this stuff. Guys, you can watch the video. You can watch like all the bajillion videos and articles covering it. But for me, really what I wanted to talk about on WAN Show was...
Apparently it's been 15 years. Windows snapping was announced in 2009.
Yes, Windows snapping, but Apple's had just the like side-to-side one for a while.
Oh, okay.
It's the like multiple layout suggestion one that I think came with Windows 10 as a power toy first and then was integrated something. It was not as long ago.
Okay.
Yes, Windows Aero Snap has actually been 15 years. That was launched with Vista, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I know, right?
The weird one that I was discussing with someone last night is 2015 is only 6 months away from being a decade ago.
Crap.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one.
Stop it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the attitude shift that seems to have taken place here. Just the fact that so many of these things are things they could have done 5 or 10 years ago. They had split screen, but not snapping. I had to buy an app called Magnet to enable window snapping. Look, either way, fine. Either way, doesn't change the point. The point is, they're finally addressing things that have been clear deficiencies that their users have wanted them to address for a very long time, while also doing cool, innovative Apple things like the satellite text messaging things. So cool. That could be a literal lifesaver.
Yeah,
an actual lifesaver.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. They briefly overtook Microsoft as the world's most valuable company, but lost the lead before close, apparently. Love it. I'm excited. I'm, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. I'm going to daily
switch.
Well, look, I've been looking for a new phone for a while.
You've been, what is that, Note 9?
Yeah.
For how long?
Ever since I dropped my Fold in the pool. Dan has my Fold now. How's the Fold treating you, Dan?
It's good. I'm trialing it with my dad, actually.
Really? Your dad's using it?
That's right.
How does he like it?
I think he likes it a lot. He uses the Fold not very often, though.
Yeah.
That was my thought as well. I have technically 2 folding phones now, and
You just... So
I'm just
so you
mostly
just have like a double thick phone for no reason?
basically what it ended up being. Yeah, I don't know. I think, Linus, you had a better use case for it where you could have scripts and chat kind of simultaneously while doing production and stuff like that, right?
I didn't really use it for that much. I mostly opened it up to like read articles.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially because so many modern sites have so many ads on them that on a candy bar form factor, you like can't actually read the article. Like it completely breaks it. So there's that. Anyway, I've been looking for a phone for a while, and you guys suggested very stupid things to me, unfortunately. Well, one of them wasn't that stupid. One of them was. The LG Wing was a very stupid suggestion, but the Fairphone 5 wasn't stupid until it was super, super underpowered and had just like game-breaking bugs, like the fact that the ringer volume could only be ear-splitting or completely off, which just doesn't work for me. Okay. So this might be it then. I might just go iPhone.
It's fun.
Yeah, do it. Make a video about it. Do it for a while.
But it didn't feel like it was ready.
Yeah, you keep going back to the Pixel.
Yeah, I never want to, and then
I know
do
you hate
anyways.
it every time, and then you just like keep going back. It's like, what kind of relationship is this that you're in?
I think this time, if I had to do it again, I probably would have gone with an Xperia actually. But I realized that like months after the fact, not shortly after the fact, like months after the fact.
I'm going to convert you.
Trying other people's.
Sony just quietly has
it was you.
pretty great phones.
Sony has a lot of quiet everything.
Yeah, nobody seems to really care over here.
Well, I had an Xperia a long time ago, and I really liked it.
So much. I'm the one North American who actually cares.
Dan. Okay, Dan.
He's got me pretty sold. When this finally goes down the tank, which hopefully not for another like couple of years, but I suspect it'll be iPhone versus Xperia.
Oh yeah, and tap to cash in Apple Pay looks sick.
Yeah,
it's like splitting bills. Forget about it. Like, boop. How was that not a thing? Like the fact that
it's genuinely pretty cool.
Dude,
isn't the animation like sick too?
That was one of those things that I'm not sure. I haven't actually.
I saw an animation of something and I thought it was that, but I'm not sure, and it looked really cool.
That was one of those things that just killed me when like almost 10 years ago, someone told me, no, it couldn't have been 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. It was between 5 and 10 years ago. Someone was like, yeah, in some ways, China is really behind, but in other ways, North America is laughably behind. And one of those ways was contactless, like cashless payments. They were like, yeah, you can buy a banana with like WeChat for 15 cents and just like, there's no fees and like, it's fine. I mean, you know, the government is watching you, but yeah, other than that, just the convenience of just pulling out your phone and being like, yeah, I'll take one banana from like a roadside vendor. And this was back when I don't even think Apple Pay existed here yet. So it was just like the dark ages, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, you were still pulling out your credit card and like swiping a magnetic strip whenever you went down to the States. Like at least you guys support pins now.
Brutal, yeah.
That was ridiculous. Like we had pin authentication for like years.
They
before
still
the
want
US
to take your
adopted
card though. They'll take your card, go to the machine, plug it in, bring you the machine.
That's pretty funny.
Why did you do that part? This is uncomfortable. Just let me. I don't know. Anyways, you know who's not happy about this stuff? Elon Musk. Elon Musk was furious at the news of a partnership with OpenAI, immediately threatening to ban the use of Apple devices at his companies, even by guests.
What? Why?
Because, well, he tweeted an image to explain. If you check it out on X, I will share my screen. That's why, I guess? Because you're giving all of your data to OpenAI. But I think maybe he doesn't understand, or maybe I don't, because I think it's opt-in, right? Because it's not like Apple doesn't have their own AI stuff.
He knows that like Tesla has had more user data scandals than OpenAI, right?
Well, OpenAI hasn't lasted for very long.
Yeah,
been around for very long.
But he knows that Teslas have been
pretty big,
quite egregious.
Yeah,
right.
Watching people's videos.
Yeah, like
because you have all your cameras in your Tesla, and there's been Tesla employees caught just watching people's videos and stuff.
Yeah,
like not good.
And not just watching them, but like sharing them on like internal Discords and stuff, like
not
group
Discord,
chats.
But yeah.
Sorry, their internal. Yeah. Sorry, their internal group chats.
Yeah.
Like he knows that, right?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
I don't know if he knows that.
I think it's just because of his like ongoing war with OpenAI, so he's just trying to like make noise.
I don't know,
or something.
man. You see the lawsuit? Apparently, some Tesla shareholders are mad that he created a competing AI company when Tesla was supposed to be his AI company. Like,
I could see that.
It's almost like he's been this way all along, and the fact that you didn't notice is kind of on you. I'm sorry. I know that I've been kind of branded as an Elon hater, but to me, his character has been on full display for a very, very, very long time. The big turning point for me that made it just so obvious, and I'm so sorry if this wasn't obvious, but it is to me because of the space that I work in. And the thing that made it so obvious to me was when they dissolved their press relations for Tesla.
Yeah,
because it was after a streak of just sort of uncomfortable questions that their press relations had to answer, where he basically made a statement without making a statement that he was accountable to nobody and didn't have to answer anybody's questions, and dissolved it. And I was like, okay, well, that tells me everything that I need to know about you. You think you are not accountable. And it's been so clear in basically everything he's done since then that he thinks he's not accountable.
You know, that might have been the worst move that he could have done at all, because I feel like if there was someone in front of him, he'd probably be doing a lot better right now. Because I think a lot of the like downturn of public perception of him and public perception of some of his companies has largely been due to, honestly, just his Twitter usage. If he just didn't tweet things, I bet you people would still think he was a god. But anyways, moving on, I guess. I think we're done.
Yeah.
YouTube testing server-side ad injection. According to reports, YouTube is now injecting ads directly into video streams to try to defeat ad blockers. YouTube has been using client-side ad injection, where the ad and video are delivered separately to desktop and mobile clients, and the player is programmed to pause the video at certain points to play the ad. Now, YouTube is experimenting with server-side ad injection, which places the ad directly into the video stream before the content is delivered to the viewer. And if it's like a mid-video ad, just sort of at the same time, right? It's acting as if it's the normal video feed, so you can't detect it that way.
Remember when I pitched you this for Floatplane?
Ads?
Yeah, remember when we had talked about having a free tier?
I have vague memories of this.
We had a conversation. You were like, yeah, basically, like a lot of our savviest audience, and that's going to be a lot of the people who are most dialed in, who are going to be a lot of the people who subscribe on Floatplane, are just going to use ad blockers anyway. So there's like no hope. And I was like, but like, what if we could just encode several versions of the video with like the various campaigns we're running right now? And obviously that's a super rudimentary, like stupid way to do it. And you were basically like, yeah, but the processing and storage are going to be ridiculous. And this is something that could conceivably work. But one of the challenges is that if it's encoded into the video, they could just use the slider to skip it, which is something that, you know, for all of its faults, the other way of serving ads does not allow. We had this like whole conversation about it. And to be clear, I'm not imagining that I invented this idea, but it was funny to me to see that YouTube is now testing a feature that we had a conversation in our like crappy boardroom about.
That would have been a long time ago.
Probably like 7 years ago.
I remember like bits of this. I remember enough to like know that it definitely happened. I just don't remember the conversation super, super clearly. But yeah, that all makes sense. This sounds like effectively the same thing, but more sophisticated. Because it's probably like just-in-time setup, JIT, instead of like trying to transcode the whole thing ahead of time, so that they can like insert it that way. But anyways, it's interesting to the technical side of me. But yeah, so they're experimenting with doing server-side ad injection, which places the ad directly in the video stream before the content is delivered to the viewer. This makes most forms of ad blocking harder. Not impossible, but harder. Many ad blocks work by disabling the JavaScripts that inject the ads into the video stream. Obviously, this switch will affect that functionality. If it works that way, it's not going to work at all. Incidentally, this also affects sponsor block. As they take user-submitted data about where the sponsor segments are located in YouTube videos. This extension offsets timestamps to skip the sponsored content, but the varied length of integrated ads will affect the length of the offset and affect its ability to crowdsource accurate and precise data. This is what I was saying. The idea that we had, or you had, would have actually worked with sponsor block, because the idea was to like bake these things in. But if they're doing this in like a just-in-time format where they have the video file but they're streaming stuff ahead of it,
right?
Or like along with it,
they're just like picking different chunks.
And I might be misusing just-in-time because I don't know exactly how they're doing this, so I might be saying the wrong thing. But they're doing it a little bit more live than the plan that we had, which is going to mean that it's not the same for every single user every single time. You're going to get different ads, which means that things like sponsor block will struggle a little bit. Now, I'm sure I can think of ways that they could still make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can detect what ad is playing, you might be able to have some data on how long that ad lasts.
The solution is going to be the same solution that everyone is using these days. AI.
Oh, yeah.
You could recognize an ad. You could recognize self-promotion. So the whole thing could just be, oh man, that. Oh wait. Yeah, so you could wait. No, at the very best though,
that'd be tough.
All you could really do is just like blank it out. So it could be kind of like you could effectively like turn off your TV while YouTubers are promoting their merch, or while an ad is running, and then it could come back on kind of thing, because you wouldn't be able to, like, you could get the chunk, analyze the chunk, be like, ooh, bad chunk, and then just like
I would love a like crab rave ad blocker. So like anytime it detects an ad, it just like plays crab rave. It'd be so annoying, but it'd be so funny.
Well, you heard about how bad Linus led development was? It was nothing compared to Luke led development.
Yeah.
We are not working on that.
No. It would be really funny. Oh man. Anyways, this doesn't make ad block impossible, as we've been kind of discussing. Ad blockers could still function using detectable metadata and UI elements like a clickable ad link, or a variety of other things. Or even like, I'm thinking like user submitted, like, hey, this ad that looks like this plays for this long, skip whatever, blah, blah, blah. Discussion question. At what point do you think YouTube/Google will be satisfied with their levels of ad block? If the platform is able to defeat ad block, what do you think the effects on the platform and user base will be?
One thing that would be really interesting about sponsor block in particular to me is I think it would cause a bit of a change in the YouTuber sponsor read meta. Because right now, I think that a lot of savvy users are just skipping it. And so some channels in particular have like really long or like really long placements, like right at the beginning of the video and stuff like that.
Noticed.
And I'm just wondering.
1.5 minutes right at the beginning is one that I saw recently.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so I look at stuff like that. Like ours have always been designed to be easily skippable. So the first one is about 10 to 15 seconds, which is supposed to be one tap of either a double tap with your thumb on your phone or of the arrow key on your keyboard. And then our intro is, I think, about 8 seconds. So basically 2 is supposed to just skip you through it. And then our ending one is supposed to be such that the video's over, who cares? Just navigate away. Or sometimes we'll put a little bit at the end to reward the people who, watch the sponsor integration. But it's supposed to be pretty easily skippable. It's been really fascinating lately. You can kind of follow like trends and audience sentiment towards things, because we've been doing that method for 9 years or something like that, where we've had the 2 spots. We've had a short one at the beginning and then a longer one at the very end. And I'll see sometimes an uptick or a downturn in comments about it. Oh, Linus got 2 sponsors a video, or people will be like completely fine with it, and it seems to be more related to what else is going on the platform and just how generally ad saturated people are compared to anything to do with us changing anything, because we really haven't. But I would be very interested to see if this made behavior like the 1.5 minute ad at the beginning of the video just kind of go away, because I don't know what percentage of people even use extensions like sponsor block, but I suspect it's reasonably high. I mean, I see it talked about a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't
see it talked about guessing that much. I see it around, but not that much. I don't think it's anywhere near as widely known as ad block.
Yeah, that's.
And I think it's pretty
true.
majorly like just the YouTube hyper audience, not like normies know ad block. I don't think normies know sponsor block, is what I'm trying to say.
Interesting. Dan, what else are we supposed to be doing? Oh, it's merch messages time. Hey, why don't you, if you have sponsor block, why don't you just skip this part? Except I actually think it's the most interesting part of the show, so get f***ing wrecked, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing, Dan? Oh, wait, should we talk about like a reason you might want to like do a merch message? Oh, right, that is what we're supposed to be doing. If you're new to the show, it's merch message time. That's right. Don't leave a super chat. Don't leave a Twitch Bic or whatever they're called, Twitch bit. I know.
Twitch Bic, it's like a purple Bic.
Yeah, it's a pen. Don't leave a Twitch bit or whatever. Just leave a merch message. Go to LTTStore.com, and in the cart, you'll see a little box when we're live for a merch message. Merch messages go to our producer, Dan. Boop, there he is. So cool. They go to producer Dan, who will reply to them or forward them to someone who can answer your question, or just pop them up on the bottom or curate them for me and Luke to reply to you. We've got a couple of things going. Actually, we've got one thing going on the store this week. If you have like a baby shower coming up, or just, you've got a friend who's having a kid sometime soon or had one recently, we've got a bundle going right now. So you can pick up the ABCs of Gaming board book book, which is one of the highest rated items on the store. It is literally 5 stars almost across the board. Out of over 300 reviews, there is one that is 1 star. Let's see. They probably just like didn't get it. Yeah, nice. It's basically 5 stars. People love the ABCs of gaming. And then you will also get, or you can also get the, wait, why is it not in here? Okay, we have a little bit of work to do on our store. Is it a plushie?
What?
What is the shape sorter?
Oh.
It's a miracle anyone manages to buy it at all. Okay, there it is. Anyway, shape sorter toy. So this was painstakingly designed by one Tynan Stack to have unconventional shapes. That's right. Who needs a circle and a square when you can have a laptop and a game controller? And almost all of them will not go through the... If
I remember correctly, there's only one that can go through a hole that it's not supposed to.
I think there's 2. If you really find a way. Anyway, the quality is great. People absolutely love this thing. Again, tons of 5-star reviews, overall 5-star product. And if you buy these together, you get free shipping for your entire order. So if you're someone who needs to gift something fun and tech related, or just, I don't know, a gift for someone who's having a baby or had a baby recently, and you wanted to pick up something else from the store, then now's your excuse to pick up the ABCs of Gaming board book and the shape sorter toy, and you will get free shipping on your whole order, so you can pick up whatever other stuff that you wanted to grab without paying for shipping. That is worldwide, my friends, so enjoy it. Anywho, do you want to show them how merch messages work, Dan?
Yeah, sure. So let's see what we've got here. First one's up from Philip. Morning LLD. Is there an ETA on any idea on work cargo pants?
Yes, I think they're in production right now. So that means less than 3 months, but more than 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, WAN.dll. Over the years, you've gotten to see some fairly momentous tech advances and innovations. Looking back, what are some severely under or overestimated?
Oh, man. Someone reminded me of a buzzword that we totally forgot about. Shoot. Now I forget. Yeah, in our AI is Alive video, we had Internet of Things and 5G, some of those buzzwords. It's just like, remember all the stuff they were telling us 5G was going to do? And I was
just like basically the same.
I was looking at it going like, yeah, okay, I get it. It's like way more throughput and the latency is going to be way lower or something, right? But like, how's the latency going to be that much lower? Like, it still has to bounce off of there and relay over there, and like, isn't a lot of it just like switching time? Like, it moves at the speed of light regardless of how many G's you have, right? Oh man, big data. That's the one. Remember big data?
Well, big data is a thing.
Of course it is a thing.
Yeah.
But like, just the way that we were talking about it was so optimistic. And what's funny is we're actually...
Oh, God. Yeah, okay.
What's funny is we're actually finally... Some of that is finally coming to fruition, like with machine learning right now.
Oh, yeah.
With LLMs.
Yeah.
Like that all that data gathering seems to be actually mattering finally. But man, the kind of... I remember... I can't even remember what like stupid presentation I was in where they were basically like, yeah, big data is just going to like enable this. And I was sitting here going like, I mean, we're all on like, iPhone 5s right now. Like it's not going to do any of that stuff. Yeah, man, big data was awesome. What are some of the other like really funny ones? 5G, I'd say has been the biggest flop. Because 5G, I mean, remember... I don't
think it changed anything.
Remember when they changed 4G to LTE?
Yeah.
So LTE stood for long-term something. Stands for, what long-term extensions or something? Long-term evolution. 5G could have absolutely just been part of long-term evolution, and we could have just stopped calling things Gs, because as far as I can tell, other than the millimeter wave stuff that functionally doesn't exist unless you happen to live like right next to an access point for it, I'm sorry. I don't see why it couldn't have just been LTE plus, LTE Pro Max.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't really get it. It doesn't seem like 5G was much of a change, and it seems like the carriers agree, because a lot of them are just popping up a little 5G thing on their branded phones when you actually only have an LTE connection, because functionally it doesn't make a difference. For most, I mean, think about it. For watching a YouTube video, it's not like you need any more speed than 4G LTE anyway. For accessing a web page, I mean, realistically, your ISP's DNS is slower than the actual data download speed. Like, it's just not the issue. I don't actually need it to be faster. And man, the stuff they sold us that 5G was going to do, like it was going to enable autonomous cars. I'm sitting here going like, you can't drive a fucking car over a cellular connection. I don't care. You could have the world's most magical cellular connection. You're not driving a car over it. Like, get real, please.
I'm trying to find like key features and benefits of 5G technology.
Here, I'm going to find a 5G infographic.
Yeah.
Here we go. 5G. Fast. It's dozens of times faster. Not an evolution of 4G, it's a full new mobile system, connecting everyone using numerous services, connecting objects, dozens of billions.
As if
the fuck's a dozens of billions? It's reactive for real-time services, connected cars, online gaming.
So much of this is just internet.
Environmentally fucking friendly. What the fuck are you talking about?
Friendlier than what?
Reducing cost and energy consumption.
Of what?
I don't know. It's just stupid. Solderless PCB edge launch connectors. Like what? Okay, what does that have to do with anything? Oh God. Oh man. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh HD video.
Internet of Things only shows up on 5G. There was no Internet of Things on any of the previous Gs.
Also, this is amazing. 2019. 20 to 40 gigabit per second? What are you talking about?
What the heck? So we didn't have HD video on 4G?
Oh, no. Yeah. 100%. We couldn't do that. Also, what does SMS have to do with any of them? Nothing. Oh, Lordy.
That graphic annoys me.
Yeah, I know. Well, they were basically all like that, man. Like, we're gonna have, man, remember connected cities? And you know what? Eventually we're gonna have that. But 5G is gonna be in the rearview mirror, like way back there by the time anyone is driving around in a functional connected city.
I 100% remember the buzzword, but I'm trying to look up like what. Okay, connected cities draws its inspiration from something. It integrates brownfield and greenfield development into a unified what? The vision is for compact, high-quality, walkable developments focused around existing and new railway stations. Groups of settlements, some existing, some new, are linked using existing rail corridors and clustered around a hub town. Together they form a connected city.
Unhappy Elf says, this is a terrible take. Why did we go past 3G then? Okay.
That's not what he was saying literally at all. If you want, I can take this one.
Sure, go for it.
So he wasn't saying that at all. He wasn't saying we don't need more speeds. He was saying that they were promising the sun, moon, and stars when it was just faster internet. You weren't gonna suddenly be able to do new crazy things. We were already able to do those things.
Yes.
It's just like a little bit faster. And honestly, when you're on your phone, you very rarely need it. It's nice. It's good. And, you know, technology ever marches on. We will use it more and more over time. Now that it exists, more apps and things that could use a little bit more bandwidth will probably do that. This will also be part of an advent of probably lazier development. We see this in a lot of different ways. Back when you had to fit everything onto a CD or a cartridge, there was a huge amount of effort going into making sure that you could fit as much as possible. And now it's like, welp, everything has massive SSDs. Let's just not care about how much data we're using at all, that type of stuff.
And
anyways,
nobody's making fun of it getting faster and better. I said it could have just been 4G long-term evolution. We're making fun of buzzwords.
Yeah. Not
technological advancement. Technological advancement, good.
Yeah, it's faster, nice, it's good.
Buzzword nonsense that promises the sun, moon, and stars, as Luke very eloquently put it, is not good. Oh, this wasn't on the doc, but you just reminded me of this, and apparently you reminded It's Silent in Floatplane chat as well. We got to talk about cod.
Cod?
Yeah. Cod, salmon, tuna, you know.
The 300 gig?
Okay, no, I'm not even interested in that.
Okay.
What I am interested in is the fact that not only is it a 300 gig game, but you are going to be streaming textures constantly.
Oh, really?
You must be online.
Oh, okay. But is that artificial?
In order to stream textures, like game textures. I do not understand. So you're okay.
I didn't know this part. I'm trying
what
to look
is
it up.
the 300 gigs?
It's probably all like uncompressed.
And
everything.
like how is this? Oh man,
continuous texture streaming.
I remember this from earlier this week. There was some like hilarious contradiction in all of this too. I'm trying to because I think the texture streaming was to, okay, don't quote me on this, but I think someone from somewhere justified this by saying that the texture streaming, like the always online requirement and the texture streaming was to account for like data limits and not making the 300 gig game bigger.
Even bigger.
And it's like, wait a second. So your solution is that instead of downloading it once, I'm going to be downloading it over and over again constantly? Are you fucking kidding me? The only way that logic makes any sense is if you know I'm never going to play the whole game. Is if you know your game is so bad, I'm just going to play it for a little bit. So that way I only streamed as much texture as I need.
I'm trying to figure, some people have like monthly bandwidth caps that are actually like difficult to deal with.
300 gigs is apparently for the mesh data, and they are streaming textures.
The mesh data is 300 gigs?
I'm sorry, but this is just like the amount of engineering a worse solution that goes on sometimes just blows my mind. Because they would have had to put so much work. Like they probably built like a significant amount of data center. Think about how big a COD game is. And I don't mean big like in gigabytes. I mean big like in cultural impact. How many people play a COD game?
Oh, yeah.
Streaming that kind of data to that many dude.
Let me see.
Dude.
They quoted the monthly active players in the just Steam charts. COD has a lot of monthly active players.
I am blown away by this. How is streaming the data over and over and over again a solution? By the time I look at that rock 6 times. No, I'm serious though. And okay, it's possible that not all texture data is streamed. Like it would be pretty asinine if like character models were streamed.
Yeah.
But like, okay, here, pitch me.
Okay, it's not 300 gigs. But sorry, keep going.
Yeah, that's the whole pack or something like that. I don't care.
It's a bunch of different games combined.
Honestly, I said I wasn't even mad about that.
Yeah.
What I'm mad about is this texture streaming nonsense.
Yes.
So no, put your computer away. We're having a conversation. I'll put my computer away. Let's have a conversation. Okay? I'm the owner of like infrastructure expenses at Activision.
Okay. And I'm trying to sell this.
Hold on. No. Okay. Just let me get there. Okay. So I own infrastructure expenses.
Okay.
I want to manage infrastructure. I want things to be as efficient and cost effective as possible. Okay.
Okay.
Name one texture in the game that I should put on my infrastructure for people to download over and over and over again instead of just once. One texture that makes sense for. I'll wait.
Well,
I got one.
Okay,
a garbage can in Spider-Man. No, wait.
The DLC live shop
The DLC live shop.
and all the new skins.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so this would help them avoid having to do an update
Creeping
every
storage.
single time
That is
they add
actually
something.
pretty good.
There you go.
Was that pre-informed?
Nope. On the spot.
That's pretty good.
You play, they got
think Dan
hundreds
gets a
of
point.
skins. Yeah.
He wins a point
I
there.
hate
Hey!
it so much. So basically, this is a way for them to advertise a lower install size.
I bet you they're gonna
That's 100% the reason.
do both.
You think they'll just if you've like streamed it enough times, it'll just be like okay, and it'll download a permanent copy.
I would like that because like there's this. So my argument was going to be that we have the initial download size so someone can play the game, but then we allow them to play more quickly. We reduce a barrier to players getting into the game by allowing texture streaming.
Yep.
This is a thing already. The problem, and the reason why I didn't pitch this already, is because the way that normally works is once you stream it to them, they keep it, and then you don't have to stream it to them again.
Right.
Because you just allow downloading while the game's running. This is like Blizzard has done this, which, I mean, heavily related company. Blizzard has done this for a really long time. You download like 40-50% of the game, and then it is playable.
Yeah.
But they're like, you'll still have to stream some textures when you're in the game. But when you're streaming those textures and other various things,
You just have them,
yeah.
and it's part of the game install. So
Yes.
now this way, oh lordy, this is painful. This actually hurts my brain.
Yeah.
Dan is 100% right, though. That is the reason to do
I
it.
still feel like they'll make you do an update when they do that, though.
MCXL in chat says in-game advertising and billboards, which is probably more accurate than what I said.
They're probably both right.
To be complete. Well, I feel like I like Dan's. I think Dan should definitely get a point for it.
But it'll probably be more like what you're talking about, where it
Still
just
think they're going to make you
grabs it.
update.
No, I don't necessarily think they'll make you update though, because they could just feed that to you while you're loading in the lobby or whatever. Like they could just, it doesn't have to be streaming, but it could be.
But they want the store to be pristine
And-
the second you load the game. They don't want the store to look bad because your internet connection is a little bit rough. That's my.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% convinced on the
They might
store
be
one.
updating the store daily.
The billboards would explain why it matters for single player though, because in
100%.
single player, the cosmetics wouldn't be relevant, but billboards and ads would be the reason why they would need you always online for single player.
And that's a thing, right, in COD?
I'm not sure. I mean, probably, but who knows?
I don't know. Yeah.
This is brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Brutal. a WA 1992 says, "You guys, please stop giving them ideas if they haven't had them yet." Trust me, when it comes to wringing blood from a stone,
They've had that
Activision
idea.
has had the idea already. And if they could patent it, they would.
They've invented blood-ringing machines, blood-ringing crucibles.
That's not what a crucible is, but okay.
It's fine.
It's forged in the blood ringer. Anywho.
That sounds like the intro to some like fantasy movie.
Yeah, all right.
Forged in the ring of blood. Anyways.
What are we supposed to be talking about?
I was going to give you one more merch message, or we can move on. Up to you.
No,
Sure.
do it.
Yeah, do one more.
Hey, LDL, what are your thoughts on the new thermosiphon developments for PC cooling? And is there any kind of cooling tech you'd like to see or attempt to put in a PC?
Thermosiphons are super cool. We saw it initially with Ice Giant. They're apparently working on a more AIO form factor type of thermosiphon. Wait, Frost Giant Studios? Dang it. No, I mean, super cool, but no. Wow, they are a very small company. You can specifically search for them and they still won't come up. Neat.
Well, Ice Giant's also like a really, no offense, very generic.
Ouch. Got him. Anywho, Ice Giant is apparently working on some kind of prototype for a more AIO form factor type thing. I don't see anything on their site. And Noctua showed off a thermosiphon that was in like an AIO type form factor, and was essentially a pumpless AIO, but it uses phase change, so it's a thermosiphon. Super cool if they can achieve AIO-like performance. That would be amazing. There's still going to be some challenges. They'll be a little bit less flexible because they're gravity dependent. You have to have the radiator above the CPU block. Otherwise, you won't get that that natural flow. Yeah, cool. In terms of other cooling technology, I mean,
I think we're going to see...
I'd love to see water cooling get cheaper, but I think it's gotten about as cheap as it can get.
Yeah. I think we might see some innovation, though, because of the amount of thermals and power that's going to be going through these data centers. So we'll see data center innovation for cooling, and then hopefully that'll trickle down to us.
I don't think it will, because it's less about cooling the actual chips at this point, and it's more about cooling the whole thing, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, yeah... The fact that heat pumps, people, I saw so many articles about heat pumps over the last 6 months. I'm just yeah, who's buying an air conditioner these days? Just get a heat pump. I thought everybody knew that, but I don't know. Apparently, this is whoa, big news 6 months ago. I don't know. I was super confused by it. Because it's been kind of common knowledge here. Maybe it's just because we're in this temperate place where buying anything that's just air conditioning is completely worthless because you're going to use it 3 weeks out of the year. Right? So we were just well, yeah, heat pump.
Yeah.
Something that can do both. Because, we need 2 months of heating and I don't know, 3 weeks of cooling. Well, it used to be that way. Nowadays, our summers tend to be hotter. But
when we need it, we really need it, but we don't really need it for usually that long.
No, Big HVAC does want you to know about heat pumps, Freck. Big HVAC will install a heat pump for you tomorrow.
Gladly. It looks almost the same.
All right. Why don't we... we've got a couple of things. We have a Floatplane exclusive that is available for 48 hours over on LMG Clips. So it is, I guess, semi-exclusive. Check it out, guys. You can, if you are not subscribed at lmg.gg/floatplane, you can watch this Floatplane exclusive. We have 2 Floatplane exclusives every week, which is pretty cool. This is Colton gets a Floatplane tattoo. This one's from a while back, but we've got a lot of other really great exclusives on the platform. I can show you some of the more recent ones. Here we go. How do we test materials at Creator Warehouse? This one's apparently doing really, really well. Emily and Jonathan react to WWDC.
Oh, cool.
We've got all the stuff from Dan Week last week. Dan designs and builds a table. Dan Suzuki Cappuccino. We have actually a ridiculous amount of content. Actually a ridiculous number of exclusive videos on Floatplane now. The library is huge, and it's worth a subscription to Floatplane just to kind of watch some stuff. And hey, maybe you don't keep the subscription forever, but go check it out. There is, good Lord, so much to watch. Am I even done yet? I'm not even done yet. It goes on and on and on. Okay.
There you go.
Finally. Man, look, it's baby.
What are some of these?
It's baby Linus doing Floatplane exclusives.
Wow.
Crazy. Meet the team. Colton, Kaching, Potter.
Bella.
Yeah, I know, right? Look, it's baby Jake. Look at his baby face. Anyway. What am I supposed to be talking about? Yeah, so we've got a preview over on LMG Clips. And we have 2 items remaining from the charity stream. Just 2. The Corsair 6500X showcase build and the probably TSA approved regular prototype screwdriver at lmg.gg/charity leftovers. All right, Dan. Wait, what are we supposed to be doing? 2 more topics. Luke, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about, I had it picked out already, but I moved the script. Where did it go? NAS software update.
Oh, yes. So I have to confess, I have not looked through the package yet.
That's actually kind of fun. I like that.
Cool.
We have an update and screenshots from Eshtek, the company of, if I said that right, the company that is making HexOS.
I mean, no one's ever heard of them before, so you are officially the way to pronounce it.
Eshtek. If they say otherwise, they are wrong. I have decided this.
Got 'em.
It's a NAS software geared towards tech enthusiasts and content creators, currently being led by Jonathan Penozzo. And again, if if he doesn't think that's how you pronounce it, this is just how you pronounce it now. And Eric Schultz, with their mission being to ensure users have complete control over their data and privacy.
It was actually spelled wrong in the doc. There's 2 Z's, Panazzo. Okay, that does actually have a way of being pronounced. We're off to a great start.
In my defense, there was a letter not there.
The amount of criticism I take over supposedly favoring the companies I invest in. If this is any indication,
like, decide that someone's last name is different and also their company name is just like, who knows? Anyways. Their mission is to ensure that users have complete control over their data and privacy while filling a gap that delivers high performance and ease of use. Now, do you want to jump to the photos and I'll keep reading?
Sure, I'll jump to the photos. I do not have access to this file. Oh, wait, no, I do. Oh, that's so weird. When I moused over it, hold on. This is so weird. Here, check this out. Okay, so I mouse over it. It goes, you do not have access to this file. And then I clicked it, and it was all there.
Huh.
I don't know. Neat.
Different account, I bet.
Yeah. It must have. Oh, yeah. Okay, I opened Drive in a different account that's definitely not logged on this computer. Don't look at it.
You know why I said different account, I bet?
Because you saw over my shoulder that it was a different account.
Saw the profile icon.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, HexOS is based on TrueNAS scale, as we can see on the login screen, which is, I'm assuming, what we're looking at now.
Yeah.
Which we use here at LMG. TrueNAS scale, not HexOS yet. At least. And then Photo 2.
Ooh.
One downside people have brought up before is TrueNAS can feel a bit more geared towards sysadmins or people with more NAS knowledge in general, which is why HexOS is aiming to help by making things as simple as possible while still allowing people to do more manual configuration if they feel it's needed.
So this is like a wizard type of setup here. So it's like, here's our recommended configuration based on your available devices. You can totally configure them manually if you want, but this is the recommended configuration. So we've got an SSD pool, 1 terabyte of usable storage, and it explains in simple English, OneDrive can fail without data loss. And you know what?
Nice.
That's okay, because the advanced user doesn't need you to tell them it's RAID 1. They can clearly see that I have 2 1 terabyte drives and one can fail without data loss. So that's RAID 1. Good to know. Hard drive pool. 32 terabytes usable. 1 drive can fail without data loss. We have 5 drives. We are clearly running RAID 5 or RAID Z1. Sorry, to use the TrueNAS terminology. It lays all of this out very clearly for me. Super cool.
Yeah. Photo 3.
Photo 3.
HexOS will be supporting applications such as Plex, Home Assistant, and more with simple one-click installs where some NAS softwares require VMs to be started or Docker containers, which I'm assuming you can still do. It just also has one-click installs.
Yep.
Which is neat.
And this is the main reason for this. The main reason for this from what's up?
What's the purple button at the bottom say?
It says go to the dashboard.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. The main reason for this is that a lot of the configuration that you need to do for a Plex install or for a Home Assistant install would be the same on 99.9% of systems.
Yeah.
So essentially, all HexOS is doing is being like, okay, why don't we just
it's like the
auto-populate that
of those things?
It's not even just Ninite. It's just most people, when they set up a NAS, they just want to be able to, via SMB or whatever Apple uses these days, they just want to be able to access their files on the network without faffing about with it.
Or play some video. It's not because they're super excited about the home lab necessarily.
Not necessarily.
They're excited about the results of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so why don't we just set it up so that it just works? And
if you want to tinker with it, you can.
You absolutely can. So anyway, okay.
Photo 4. Here we can see a sneak peek at the dashboard as well, with pretty basic information that most people would want at a quick glance. They are still working on more, and I have Eshtek's word that I will be able to show off a beta version in a video pretty soon. That's exciting. But in the meantime, if you're interested in the project, you can head over to HexOS, HEXOS.com to sign up for their newsletter. And there's a note from Elijah that says, I'm building a NAS for my upgrade. If they have a working beta in August, I would be interested in daily driving it if the company is ready.
Very cool. So, unique username in Floatplane says, I hope there's a lot more to this. Not terribly impressed, to be honest. And that's fine.
Yeah.
You can totally still use TrueNAS, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
But
they're not trying to beat TrueNAS.
But if I had a creator come to us and say like, hey, I want to set up a NAS. The idea here is that this will be simple enough that I'm not going to be on a call with them every single month, helping them do an update or helping them set up a user share or helping them change their password or whatever. But with the power and performance of TrueNAS, that's what it is. And so if it's not for you, it's not for you.
I have a spicy question.
Yeah, hit me.
How are they monetizing this?
I don't know yet. Hopefully somehow.
Yeah.
Because
they'll need to somehow.
Yeah, they got to make money. Yeah. I know they definitely have some ideas, but the last thing that I'm going to do is like commit them to something. I mean,
yeah.
I think you've had some idea from our conversations, not on the WAN show, of how involved of an investor I am.
Yes. Yeah. I just noted, I like jumped to the website and was like, where's the pricing link? And then I was like, there is definitely not one.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure they'll figure something out.
All right.
Good luck to them.
Yeah.
My phone's blowing up. Hold on. It could be something important. One moment, please.
Yep. No worries. Do you want me to do another topic? Yes.
Sure.
Roku makes some smooth moves, permanently enables frame interpolation for some. Roku TV owners on Roku OS 13 claim that action smoothing has turned on their devices, and there is no way to turn it off. In the newly released Roku OS 13, Roku TVs now offer Roku Smart Picture that will optimize the image based on what content is being watched. This is activated motion smoothing for some users who never had access to the feature at all in the past. Interesting. Roku has told users to use the expert settings menu in the TV, but some users claim that they don't have the action smoothing option or access to the expert settings at all. Roku has had a history of aggravating users with OS updates. In March of 2024, they updated their TOS in a manner that locked you out of using their system unless you hit agree. Incredibly annoying if you already bought the device. You could decline the updated TOS by sending a physical letter to the company that included
they've been in the news for
each
that
person opting
kind
out.
of thing a couple times.
Yikes, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
What did they change in the TOS? Well, they added a clause for forced arbitration.
Yeah. These guys are wild.
Yikes.
Oh, Roku.
Stop.
Cheap TVs that hate you.
Yeah. Very cool. Just rather watch on my phone.
Anyway, the main reason I wanted to talk about this is it just kind of, I thought it might spark a conversation about products that materially change after you've purchased them and how that's not cool, big tech. In some cases, we've had stuff taken away and then given back, like some of the features that Google removed from their smart speakers when they were in litigation with Sonos, and then ultimately put back, but some of once that was resolved. That's not optional, you guys. And I don't really understand why why regulators aren't stepping in to make it clear that the features you advertise for the product are not optional.
Yeah.
That's not like if I feel like it. The ability to turn off action smoothing is not optional if that was in the product when I bought it.
Yeah. or if it didn't even have that feature. There's notes in here saying that it turned on action smoothing for TVs that didn't even have action smoothing. So people couldn't turn it off because it wasn't in the settings because the TV wasn't even supposed to have it. Like, yikes, dude.
Yeah, Tayback brought up Plex. Yeah, we haven't worked with Plex since... Wow, it's been a while.
I feel like 2017.
No. We've worked with them more recently than that. Hold on.
Remembered.
The last time we worked with Plex was in 2022. So it was about 2 years ago. It was mid-2022. And basically, I sent an email to our business team that was pretty much... this. Hold on, I'm just going to zoom it No, I'm not going to zoom it. Screw it, whatever. Okay.
We don't have to show it.
Yeah, so I sent an email to our business team that was this. And I was like, here's what they need to fix. Here's what I'd like to see fixed. And if we work with them again, then they need to fix this. And we don't work with them again. It's been 2 years. Because they're just too busy appealing to their shareholders by becoming more of a traditional streaming platform. And it's like, okay, I get it, but that isn't what you sold me.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like they're moving in a good direction.
No, it really doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. Yeah. More stuff. There's more things.
Yeah, what else do you want to talk about? Dan, what are we supposed to be doing?
Ooh, yeah. I want to talk about this. Games. The whole topic is just called Games. Multiple game announcement showcases just wrapped up, and some of them were kind of huge, actually. The biggest ones include Sony State of Play, Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, which was kind of insane, and Ubisoft Forward. Some of the heaviest hitters revealed are Doom: The Dark Ages. Have you seen that? It looks sick. It's like medieval Doom.
I have to confess, I have never completed a Doom game.
Do you enjoy starting them at least?
I play it. Yeah, I enjoy benchmarking them. But I have
the slight
never
crack on benchmarking
one.
them. I like Doom games. This one looks very cool. In some of the stuff I've read about it, it says like they wanted to go back. So they had some fun with some of the modern Doom games, tons of bullets, lots of movement, stuff like that. They wanted to go back to an older kind of trope of Doom where like every bullet matters. It's a little bit slower.
Ooh, so like ammo.
Yeah.
Ammo's
important
supply.
Again.
Cool.
You have a shield. So you have to kind of like play defensively and counterattack and things like that. It looks really interesting. Gears of War E-Day, which I believe is like a prequel to Gears of War. It looks really cool. Perfect Dark. Probably a name you haven't heard in a little while.
Been a minute.
This one I know you know about because you sent it to me. Anno 117, Pax Romana.
Nice.
That looks great. I love the theme.
Yeah.
Love the theme.
Yeah, Roman Anno sounds like sick.
Awesome. Very excited. I hope they don't even deviate a ton from what they're currently doing.
Time to build some roads.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, really. Civ 7. I wasn't crazy into Civ 6.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Do we need another Civ game until it's been another couple thousand years and there's some new civilizations to, like, it feels a little bit to me like Civilization has gone down the EA Sports path. Except there's no roster change.
No, I don't agree.
Okay, that's not true. That's not true. They add they change the gameplay every time.
They actually change it quite a bit. I
just feel a little bit like I've seen enough innovation on Civ, and I don't need another Civ. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair. I play every Civ and have enjoyed every Civ. Civ 6 has probably had the least incremental enjoyment out of any of the ones that have come out for me personally. So I'm not like super hyped like I have been every time a Civ game has come out for Civ 7, but I would be very happily proven wrong, and I'm very ready to probably enjoy it, and I will almost certainly play it because I have always really liked Civ games. Civ 6's theme song slaps. They all slap. Baba Yetu is like one of the best game songs ever. Anyways, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Really, 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 really enjoyed original Dragon Age and have never looked back personally, but it is what it is. And many, 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 many more. The Xbox Game Showcase was wild to watch because if I remember correctly, every single game that was announced was also announced that it was going to be launched full feature on Game Pass day one, which is like pretty wild. To me, it sounds like a horrible step to a dark future. To a lot of other people, they're like, yay, free games. It is what it is. And there was other preview trailers for things like Star Wars Outlaws and Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, which are either of you most excited about? And if it's not Stalker 2, why not? Yeah, I'm really excited for Stalker 2.
I didn't play Stalker.
Good game.
It was during the busy times
Yep.
of my life. I was at NCIX at that time. And I was like building a career, and I did game, but I played Left 4 Dead and Team Fortress 2. And that was it.
Based games.
I was one of those.
Out of these, what am I most excited for?
Man, I was like just starting my career when Stalker came out.
It's going to either be Stalker 2 or NO 117, I think.
This is going to be surprising. Actually kind of stoked for Dragon Age.
Really? Have you watched the trailer for it?
I haven't. Oh, is it bad? That's a shame.
A lot of people think it's good. I think it's bad.
I loved Origins, the watered down, barely even D&D Dragon Age.
That's not the first one. Oh, I'm sad.
Yeah. I have had a hard time getting into
Origins. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, Dragon Age Origins.
I thought that was the first one.
I don't know, is it?
I thought Origins was like actually super good.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good.
Yeah, that was just the first one though.
Sure, I don't know.
Yeah, that one's great.
Whatever. Anyway, what I loved about it was that it wasn't super hardcore.
Origins was.
I mean, look, the only experience I had up till that point.
Are you sure you're talking about Origins?
Was I?
You talking about Inquisition or something?
No.
Okay, yeah. This isn't a controversial opinion. Everyone liked Origins. Everyone universally liked. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Origins is like, yeah, people like Origins. I don't know.
I thought people didn't like it because look, the only experience that I had with D&D style games before that was I tried to play Neverwinter Nights 2, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I got confused, and I gave up. And then I played Dragon Age Origins, thinking that I probably wouldn't get into it.
I mean,
but I super got into it, and it was awesome. And it didn't seem that hardcore. And I saw a lot of criticism of it at the time, so I wonder if this is one of those things where our memories are just kind of we look back and we're like, oh yeah, that was great, but then we forget that the only people who remember Dragon Age Origins are the ones who thought it was great,
right? And
all the people who were like, watered down.
I mean, GOG has it rated 4.6 out of 5. Steam has it rated 9 out of 10. Google users have it rated 95%.
Okay, I mean, yeah, like I said, I thought it was great.
This is apparently Dragon Age 1. I loved Origins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do I find on web? Where do I find my... here we go. Yeah, games. Just because you apparently don't think that I can remember what f***ing games I've played.
Well, no, you said it was controversial to like Origins, and it wasn't.
No.
People liked Origins.
No. Hold on a second.
You're the one that said it was controversial. That's why I'm wondering which one you thought it was.
I'm just gonna check a thing, and see if maybe
Yeah, see, Ian Xmas. This is exactly what I remember.
Maybe I can't remember.
You said it was controversial. It wasn't controversial.
Games I played. I remember what games I play, Luke.
Ian Xmas said Dragon Age Origins was great. The sequels got progressively worse. That's exactly what I remember as well. Everyone liked Origins, and then it went downhill from there.
Okay, I didn't play any of the sequels.
And this looks like from the trailer, which means next to nothing. so don't take this as anything. This next one looks like a progression down the path that they've been going down. So
I
don't think it's gonna be any good.
apparently didn't care at all about Awakening.
Yeah, see, like that sounds about right.
Okay. But I think, no, that was an expansion pack for Dragon Age Origins.
But
But
I thought that was 2.
I really
no,
just-
it's Origins 2, Inquisition, and then whatever.
I just, not Linus, you the dummy. What are you talking about? I know what, all I'm saying is I know what game I played.
Yeah, he's right about the game that he played, and he liked it because it was good. So that makes sense.
Okay, well, anyway, I didn't look at the trailer for Dragon Age, whatever we're talking about.
Did you look at the gameplay trailer? Go look at the gameplay, not the trailer. Okay, I have not seen the gameplay. I've just saw the trailer, and the trailer was not interesting. To me.
Anno has a bit of a pattern where every other one is good and every other one is bad.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be great. Rome is a great setting for Anno.
Fantastic setting.
But I have no idea if it'll actually be good.
I've got some hope because all of the expansions were really strong.
They actually were.
For
though.
1800. So
1800 was a sick game.
Still is.
And yes, new Anno means no more DLC. I mean, they did so much more DLC than they committed.
Amount.
They kept building like super awesome DLC for that game.
I don't think you can complain about there not being enough DLC.
Yeah, Anno 1800 was a super well supported game.
And the DLC had value.
Oh yeah,
like they'd launch a DLC pack and there would be a ton to do. Like it was actually an expansion, which was really cool.
Honestly thought Anno and Civ were the same rip. No, they are very different.
They're quite different.
Yeah. Like turn-based versus not turn-based.
Why not keep playing 1800? You can, that's fine.
Oh yeah, you totally can. That's just a really great thing about it.
Because Rome is such a good setting, we're hoping that 117 is good.
Yeah, it'll just be like, it'll be fresh, you know?
Yeah.
Fresh.
Fresh is good.
Fresh is good. All right, what are we looking at? Oh, we should do sponsors. We should have done them a long time ago. Dan. I blame Dan. The show is brought to you by MSI. Does your PC look like you just picked it up from a scrapyard? Our sponsor, MSI, is here to make your next PC shine. Their Meg Pano 100L PZ case has a 270-degree panoramic tempered glass window, providing a great view of your setup. And if this look is too fire for you, you can cool it down with a 360-millimeter radiator on the top, side, and bottom. It also fits up to 10 120-millimeter system fans. It's compatible with both ATX and micro ATX back connect motherboards, and for fast data transfers it also syncs with MSI motherboards via a 20 gigabit per second USB Type-C port. Or other motherboards, but hey, you know. Cleaning is simple with the removable dust filters, plus the Uni front panel cable makes DIY builds easier and offers lots of customization. Check out the MSI Meg Pano 100LPZ at the link in the video description. The show is also brought to you by Grammarly. Here at Linus Media Group, the business team has to juggle a mountain of emails and messages. That is where Grammarly comes in. They're an AI writing partner that works where you work, and upgrading to Grammarly Premium has been a game changer. It saves them heaps of time with great features like tone suggestions. So now we can tell Linus to stop dropping things again without sounding like total jerks. Plus, with the premium app actions feature, they can now link Google Drive links, create tasks on Monday.com, or insert GIFs into their emails in one place without switching tabs. Plus, Grammarly Premium gives you 1,000 prompts a month. So sign up and upgrade to Grammarly Premium at grammarly.com/WAN06. The show is also brought to you by Vessi. Are you traveling somewhere with unpredictable thundershower? What even is this? Our sponsor, Vessi,
I wasn't even looking up. That's amazing.
Offers shoes that are not only very that they say are very waterproof, but are also stylish. Dennis packed 3 pairs with him for his Thailand and Taiwan trip last month, and because they're so comfy, Dennis's dad borrowed a pair from him. That's awesome. And refused to return them. Being waterproof doesn't mean your feet need to suffocate either, thanks to their Dymatex technology. Vessi's shoes are breathable, light, and stretchy, and their Stormburst line is great for slippery sidewalks and mossy logs on trails, since they have extra traction. And now you can get the Stormburst in a low top. Rain or shine, here or there, it's always a great occasion to wear a pair of Vessis. So go to vessi.com/WAN Show to get 15% off your first purchase. All right. Well, that was fun. Hit us with some merge messages, Dan.
Sure. Hello, WAN.dll. Aside from Computex, what are some of your favorite things you saw, did, or ate in Taiwan? Also, any news on when beanies will be back in stock?
I love soup dumplings.
Oh, agreed.
I think we're working on beanies, but I have
Xiaolongbao.
no idea. You know what? Overrated. Dude, every time I go to the restaurant that everyone recommends, I'm like, it's fine. And it was fine.
Yeah.
It was good. Yvonne liked their soup dumplings better. But honestly, one of the places that Dennis recommended that was super close to our hotel, I liked the soup dumplings better. They were
There was a
bigger.
place that Dennis recommended that there's a photo of you, Jono, and I sitting there eating dumplings from like, I don't know,
Must have been
2019
like
or
6
something.
years ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place was killer. Don't remember where it was,
Nice.
but it was awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, no, soup dumplings, man. I love soup dumplings. I ended up at a really unusual dinner. So I play badminton over there, and I have kind of like badminton friends in Taiwan now, because I'm just like that white guy that comes here once a year and is like decent or something. So like they recognize me every time.
I love that they don't like know you from YouTube.
Yeah, no.
You're like random white badminton dude.
Yeah, some of them know now,
Sure, but after the fact.
but no, I was
That's so cool.
I was 100% random white badminton guy.
Yeah, that's
who,
like awesome.
comes
Because
here for
they had
Computex.
fully embraced you before they knew the YouTube stuff.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Which is awesome. Very like
Oh, they're so
on
friendly.
brand for the Taiwanese people.
So friendly.
yeah.
Anyway, so on the subject of being like ridiculously friendly, having only played with these guys a couple of times over the last 3 years, they were like, "Oh, your wife is coming this time. Well, we'd love to take you out for dinner after badminton on this night." And so we went to like a super authentic hole in the wall with our like badminton friends who like speak English, like, kind of, about like, you'd expect. And the food was great. We had like pork rice and just like, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what half of it was.
Sure. That's a common
Yeah,
occurrence.
but it was great. So you asked me like what the food was that was good, and I'm like, I don't know. Whatever was on those plates,
That's fair.
it was pretty all right.
I'm trying to find right now. There's a place that I stayed with Emma. That was like crazy cool. I'm trying to figure out how I would be able to share it with the stream. And I'm having a hard time doing that because it's all like Chinese characters. So like, I don't really know how to share that, but, I stay there with Emma. You show up at 2 p.m. on one day. You leave at 2 p.m. the next day. I wouldn't call it an Airbnb because you like do stuff. Like the host is hosting, not like, oh, here's a key and then bailing out. But you stay on a farm with a native Taiwanese tribe. It's a son and mom that run this thing. There's 2 different groups that can stay there at a time. When you show up, one of the first things that you do is you go cut down bamboo, and then you like cut the like side branches off, whatever, haul it back, cut it into sections, because when you look at bamboo, the rings are solid through. So you cut it right before the next ring. So you have one side that's solid, one side that's open. You stuff rice inside of there, cap it off with cabbage and water, and then cook it, and you make your own rice in these like bamboo things. So you kind of prep your food pretty quickly. You do a like art project where you're taking like wood burning irons and burning into wood, like whatever you want. You go up into the mountains and pick tea that you're going to drink later, because the native tribe farms oolong tea. So you get to pick tea, you get to like
Well,
be
did it
up
have
in the
any for me?
mountains. No. Well, actually, yes.
No ooh short. And destroyed.
I didn't see that coming at all.
He never does. He's too
because
tall. Sneak up on him, bite his ankles.
I actually do have a bag of it for you too. But anyways, it was amazing. The next day, you take some more of that rice that you made, and they have a stump that they've hollowed a bowl out on it, and they have a huge club, and you put some of the rice in the stump, and you bash it with this big club. You'll take turns doing it. And I had no idea mochi was just rice that had been like beaten really hard. That's what mochi is.
Cool.
I guess. I don't know. So you make your own mochi, and then they have honey from the farm that they pour on this mochi that you just made. Like you get a stick, roll it around it so you have a little bit of stick on the stick, pour honey on it, and then roll it around in crushed peanuts. And you have honey crushed peanut mochi. It's so good. It's so good. It was amazing. Anyways, this place, you can find it. You might have some trouble.
Someone said apparently a season of Amazing Race featured this village. Insomniac in Floatplane Chat said that.
Oh, this is like a house. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
The village. There is a village, but this particular thing is a house.
I remember you telling me that the first thing they told you was like, "How did you find us?"
Yeah. So I show up and it's like beautiful day. You're way up in the mountains, so you get this effect called the Sea of Clouds, where the clouds are slightly below where you're at, and it looks really cool. I have some really cool time lapse footage I took on my phone.
Yeah.
And he's like serving us this like freshly picked oolong tea. It's really cool vibes and stuff, and he's cheerily kind of trying to converse with us through Google Translate or whatever, and then he gets a fairly serious voice and is like, "How did you find this?" Because I'm assuming we're like the first white people they've really had. I don't know. That's just my guess. And I explained to him that like we had some change of plans because of the earthquake that happened in Taiwan. A lot of the things that I wanted to do were closed. So we decided to go into Alishan, which is like tea country. And I was just looking around on Google Maps, which is something that I like to do. Instead of looking on like TripAdvisor, I'll just look on Google Maps and just click on things that are kind of in the middle of nowhere to see what's going on. And I found this place, and the pictures on Google Maps are like insane. They're so cool. And then they have an Instagram, and you have to go to their Instagram to get their line contact, and you have to talk to them online to book an appointment.
When he says online, he doesn't mean online, like on the internet. He means Line Messenger.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't even have Line before. So I
oh man, dude.
Got it.
Dude, I am a popular boy online.
Because of the badminton stuff?
Yeah, I check this out. Check this out. This is my badminton address book. Give it a sec. I never launched this app, so it's takes a second. Basically,
whoa. And they all have the shuttle emojis. That's pretty great. Anyways, if you can try to find it, it's 605 Taiwan, Chiayi County, Alishan Township, and then the name is like 11, like the number 11, and then some stuff that I can't say.
Nice.
Here.
You got... Sure. Yeah, that.
Good luck. No idea what that means.
All right.
Have fun.
Yep.
If you can find it, say I sent you.
What else we got for this week? Tile it to the judge.
What?
Oh, wait. Are we supposed to be doing merch messages?
Yeah,
that says merch messages.
That was one.
Oh. Nice.
Hey, DLL. It feels like back in the day when a game didn't run great, they would blame their own hardware. Well, these days it feels like people only blame the game developer. What changed?
Okay, so a lot of things changed. One of the things that changed is that the hardware was moving really, really fast. It was more affordable in some ways. Like a full platform actually cost about as much as it does today. I mean, probably more than it does today if you account for inflation. Like you go back and you look at like a London Drugs catalog from 1998. It's like, oh yeah, computers were really expensive. You buy a computer today, like you can buy a tricked out system for what a dang it, Luke.
Sorry.
For what a computer would have cost back then.
Yeah, like an average mid to low range laptop was like $3,000.
Yeah, like computers are actually like pretty cheap today.
Yeah.
But what has changed today is that the upgrade cycle is a lot slower now, actually. Like you expect your computer from 5 years ago to like run a new game because that's how things work. Developers are not necessarily targeting the next thing that's coming with their games because they don't really need to. Like games can look really, really great and still target hardware from 5 years ago. So when something comes out that really pushes your hardware, I think that it's a little bit jarring, especially when a lot of the time What happened for especially like the PS3, Xbox 360 era was that the only reason it wouldn't run well on your PC was that the port was really badly done. And by badly, I mean like it was really hard to port games across those three very different platforms. So there's a lot of things that have sort of contributed to people's expectations changing. It used to be that a game wouldn't run well on your system because you didn't upgrade your system. Like you weren't DirectX compliant. Like things were moving so flippin' fast. And then for a long time, the only reason something wouldn't run on your PC was because the game developer didn't optimize the port correctly. Nowadays, I would say it's not really either of those things, and it's probably just kind of somewhere in between. Or it's sometimes one, sometimes the other, but I think that's probably where our attitude shifted, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds right.
All right. Thanks.
I don't have anything to add, really. It used to be kind of fun and also normal that people would do really small incremental updates. You'd have conversations with people about how they bought a CPU or a couple more sticks of RAM or something. And I would more often have those conversations than someone buying a new computer. And now it's completely flipped. I very rarely hear of anyone upgrading individual components. I almost exclusively hear people buying a new computer, and often way down the line, 4 years, 5 years often. And we had this discussion earlier in the show. There's been a little bit of developer laziness. And before people freak out, I think it's been fairly reasonable developer laziness. They don't have to do the things that they used to have to do. The constraints aren't there anymore. So why bother waste a huge amount of cycles on trying to make these little efficiency improvements when you don't need to? There's almost no reason to do so. A lot of games art styles these days aren't even that hard to push. So who cares? It's fun and interesting when companies do it, but it's like, it's probably okay.
This is kind of a cool idea. Stay the Path says, I'm on a 3-year upgrade cycle. GPU, motherboard, CPU, RAM, monitor, repeat. That actually, hold on, that's a long time to not upgrade your GPU, 9 years. No, that doesn't seem quite right. Unless you mean you do it every year. That's really often to upgrade your monitor, though. Mind you, monitor's been moving really fast. Okay, maybe if you're doing one of those things a year and like a 3-year rotation, maybe that's all right. Or you could just do it whenever things are too slow, and that would be fine too.
Or when it feels right.
But for budgeting purposes, I can see how someone might like to have things scheduled like a business, you know?
Yeah.
So Tile it to the judge. Life 360 hacked. Life 360, the parent company of Tile, announced this week that it had received emails from a hacker who claimed to possess Tile customer data. After investigating, the company found that someone had gained unauthorized access to a Tile customer support platform. 404 Media interviewed the hacker, who claimed they had gained access to multiple internal tools, and this is great, including the one that processes location data requests for law enforcement. Yeah, he's reading ahead. For law enforcement. The hacker sent 404 Media all the data they scraped, including names, physical addresses, email addresses, and phone numbers, which the outlet was able to verify by trying to create Tile accounts using some of the emails, as well as using some emails to contact affected users. When Tile was contacted by 404 Media, the company suggested it was not aware of what data had been taken until 404 Media shared data samples for verification, after which Life 360 updated their announcement. So this is pretty bad.
Discussion question: how worried should consumers be about the current state of data security? Terrified.
Very. All right.
I don't even know what else to say. We've been talking about this on WAN Show forever. Everything is like, you should treat everything as compromised, basically.
Our next topic: Waymo trouble than it's worth. Second recall for robotaxis. Waymo has issued a voluntary recall of its mapping software after one of its driverless vehicles hit a telephone pole while trying to pick up a passenger last month. No one was hurt, but Waymo said the issue was that its software assigned a low damage score to telephone poles. Were they playing GTA? Or... Research by Waymo suggests their driverless cars are safer than human drivers, being 6.7 times less likely to be in a crash. Having said that, there are far fewer autonomous There is far less autonomous driving data compared to human driving data, and not all human driving data is equal. There's a lot of different circumstances, and the way that you sample it does significantly impact the assessment. There were some stands extremely upset about us talking about how Tesla's full self-driving on hardware platform 3.0 is effectively a lie. Because they were extremely upset because they're stands. That was in our AI is a lie video where we were basically like, yeah, it's got like 150 tops or something like that, hardware 3.0. And it's one of those things where, it's really cool technology, and it's like, it's super cool, but what it isn't is ever going to be capable of fully autonomous operation. And Waymo, even though I actually don't know exactly what hardware they're using, but it might be of a similar caliber. But the difference is that Waymo has a sensor array that is vastly different than what Tesla's doing, where they've essentially committed to just trying to do everything with cameras, I think. Have they gone back on that? Are they back to putting lidar in the vehicles? I know they definitely have vehicles.
I don't think so.
That I know they have vehicles that are all cameras. No, apparently it's still all cameras.
Yeah.
That's such a yikes. And so for to see stands in the comments there being like, Linus has no idea what he's talking about. It's look how good it is now. It's definitely coming. Guys, it could get twice as good as it is today, and it would still not be able to handle edge cases, and it's still not going to be a fully autonomous vehicle. It may be able to operate autonomously under certain ideal conditions, but that's not what you were sold, and that was my whole point.
I found an article from The Verge from May 7th saying that Tesla bought over $2 million worth of LiDAR sensors from Luminar this year.
Okay, so are they back to LiDAR now?
Well, they're not in cars as far as my understanding goes, but...
Maybe they'll put them in the semis or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the semi could be like actually autonomous. That's something that's really interesting to me is something that I just kind of couldn't wrap my brain around and then never thought about again was one of the challenges of these vehicles is that because all of their sensors are integrated in a way that is visually pleasing, they can't see for shit. Right? Like they have only a human level of a human's point of view, whereas something like a semi,
oh yeah,
effectively, because you look at some of the that episode of Silicon Valley where he rides in that driverless vehicle that has like the giant like sensor array on it, something like that.
I haven't seen it.
Always made a little bit more sense to me because I couldn't figure out how, from a driver's perspective, you could possibly hope to have enough situational awareness to have a computer operate this thing. Whereas on the semis, I could actually see them having enough awareness of their surroundings that it could make a material difference just being up higher.
Just on the front, though.
No, it could be...
Because I don't think they'd attach things to whatever they're hauling.
You can kind of be out and back.
Yeah, okay.
That'd give you a pretty darn good view, and then,
so you'll still have the classic blind spot.
You'll still have that blind spot, but like realistically, then put a sign on the back of the semi that says, if you can't see my mirrors, I can't see you, and your mirror is a camera. Like, I don't see the difference there.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's like worse or anything. Just, yeah.
Sorry, semi? You guys want me to call it a semi? We call them both. We don't care. Canadians are like that. ZZ, who gives a shit?
What would you say? Semi?
Semi.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
I've heard both.
I don't know. Sorry, America.
We use metric and imperial.
Lorry. All right, you know what? Let's do it. They're lorries to me from now on.
On the good old lorry.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Stans, get over it. What else we got? Deep cool coolers are now illegal in the U.S.?
What?
Yeah, the U.S. Department of the Treasury sanctioned 16 Chinese companies, including Deepcool, for supplying goods to Russia. Deepcool allegedly sold over $1 million worth of goods to 2 Russian companies. I hope it was worth it for $1 million.
Yeah.
One appears to be a small logistics company. The other company sells computers. Yeah. Whoops. Well, way to go, Deep Cool. What's crazy about this is, by the letter of the law, if you have stock of Deep Cool coolers right now and you sell them, you're like breaking the law.
Why? What does that mean? I don't know.
If you're newegg.com and you sell a Deep Cool cooler, even though you like bought
I thought you meant stocks, like stock market stocks.
No. Okay. No, if you have coolers in stock, yeah. So that kind of blows.
That is rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal.
Sorry, Newegg and other computer sellers. It's one banana, Linus.
Plasmator says, I'm not a Tesla stan, but when folks say, ugh, no LiDAR, I often challenge them to describe in technical detail why it's required. Because cameras are subject to very, very, very distortion from small amounts of element that is very, very common, water. There you go. There's your very technical explanation of why LiDAR is necessary as a backup to cameras and why cameras are not enough on their own, which everyone knew back then and still knows now.
I think the wisdom that I've heard is that if you're 100% relying on LiDAR, it's bad.
Yes.
But then if you're 100% relying on cameras, it's bad.
Yeah.
So just do both.
Yeah.
Obviously, it costs more, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it costs more, but if you actually, in good faith, ever intended to deliver a fully autonomous vehicle, then you better make the investment.
Yeah. There's a game, the second highest player count on Steam this game has. It's called Banana.
Oh, God. I saw this when I was... I was just like walking somewhere today and I was reading this, and it was one of those articles where... Like when I was like, what? By the end of it, I realized that my mouth was open. I just couldn't believe it. Sorry. Go on.
It's a game where you click a JPEG of a banana. It's a copy of a game called Egg. And that's not me saying it's a copy of that game. One of the devs just admitted it in an interview with Polygon. But the more you click the picture of this banana, the higher the chance you'll earn a banana skin. I think we would prefer it was called Peel. But anyways, you can sell these banana skins on Steam's marketplace. Most of the skins sell for cents, but rarer ones are worth a lot more. According to Polygon, one's actually sold? Really? One skin sold.
It's got to be market manipulation.
For $1,378.58. It turns out that many of these players aren't real, as people are using bots and fake accounts to try to get rare drops. I'm sure people are just using auto clickers as well, stuff like that. Wow. What does it say about society that thousands of people are clicking on a banana to try to make a buck? I suspect for the average person, they'll pay more in electricity trying to do this than they'll actually make.
Yeah, we don't have to discuss it any further. I just thought it was funny.
I think it's just like a worse version of Cookie Clicker. I feel like Cookie Clicker is just happening again, but this time it's a banana and there's no other mechanics in the game. But it's also real money.
In other news, as part of the Starfield's Creations update, Bethesda added Trackers Alliance missions to the game. The first of several...
I'm so particularly mad about this, but I'll wait to explain why.
The first of several missions enabling you to live your best bounty hunting life. That's a quote. The first mission is free. The first one's always free. But the second mission costs 700 creation credits. That's equivalent to $7, except you have to buy at least 1,000 creation credits to be able to afford it. In addition, the quest seems to take about 15 minutes based on the length of a full gameplay walkthrough from YouTuber Sad Pickle. Some people seem to be arguing this isn't that big of a deal because speedrunners are able to beat Baldur's Gate 3 in 10 minutes or less. Okay,
there's no way that's not a joke.
That's a joke. It's calm down.
There's no way that's not a joke.
Luke.
I'm so mad. The reason why I'm so mad...
Hold on. Look into my eyes. Settle down.
This game broke my soul.
Luke, settle down.
I'm so mad.
Luke, you're still mad. Luke, settle down. He's twitching. His face is twitching.
When I first sat down to play Starfield, I decided to look into nothing. This is how I like playing Bethesda games. I like to just explore the world.
As broken as it is.
And which sometimes is kind of fun.
Yep, that's fine.
It's okay.
Yep. Remember the eyeballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun in Starfield.
Yeah, okay.
One of the first things I tried to do, and I was really excited about it, was I found the Trackers Alliance. I was like, oh, sick. There's a bounty hunting faction.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, in Elder Scrolls, we have like the Thieves Guild, the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, whatever. So I was like, okay, there's going to be that because it's a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
And one of the first things I found was the Trackers Alliance. And I was so excited because I was like, cool, bounty hunting mission storyline. Eventually you end up being the kingpin of the bounty hunter guys. This is going to be great. This is going to be super fun. It wasn't a faction. It was a mission board that there was no reason at all for you to interact with. It gave you very little credits. The missions were incredibly shallow and boring. It would just pick a random unimportant NPC. As far as I can tell, what would happen, it would just pick or generate a random unimportant NPC in the middle of absolutely nowhere, 99% of the time. You would warp there, land, bang. It's an incredibly easy game, so you just kill them easily every single time. Get back on your ship, warp back. Hello, I got a very incredibly small amount of money.
Nice.
So disappointing. They add the missions to the game finally. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, they've sort of figured it out with Fallout 76, it feels like. I'm not going to jump into it, but some people are actually having fun many years later.
Nice.
So that's cool. Maybe they'll do a Cyberpunk with Starfield, right? And I'm hearing about the new update that's coming out. There's a new expansion coming out, all this kind of stuff. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll figure it out. And then this drops, and I'm not even going to update the game, let alone launch it.
Nice.
Go yourself.
Nice. Japan passes a DMA-like law. And I don't mean direct memory access. I mean Digital Markets Act. So this is similar to the EU's Digital Markets Act law. So it labels designated providers. It requires companies labeled designated providers to abide by certain rules. Like the DMA, Google and Apple have been named designated providers, and under the law, they will be required to allow third-party app stores, allow app developers to offer third-party billing services, and other requirements. There are exceptions for privacy and security. According to The Verge, providers not following the rules can be fined up to 20% of the domestic revenue specific to the infringing service, increasing to 30% for repeat offenses, basically taking all the money that they make from these infringing services. Pretty cool. A discussion question, aside from Fortnite coming back to iOS in Japan next year, what do you think are the biggest benefits of this law? I mean, I think the biggest benefit is just that this is putting more pressure on Apple and Google to behave nicely, kind of like I talked about, with where Apple's attitude is clearly changing to be less customer antagonistic and more, okay, if that's what you want, then we should probably do that because you're not just locked into our ecosystem. We actually have to earn this again.
Yeah.
This is a good thing.
It's
Love
a very
it.
good
It's
thing.
a very good thing. You should like competition regardless of whether you liked the iPhone exactly the way it was or whether you want other people to also like it, because it will just get better. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
The Raspberry Pi, speaking of good things, this doesn't seem as good. Raspberry Pi has gone public. In an interview shortly after the 2012 launch, the Pi inventor Eben Upton said they're designed to be cheap enough that a child can buy one with their pocket money. However, in recent years, it's become next to impossible to buy a Raspberry Pi at retail price, with most production being reserved for business customers. With this IPO, Raspberry Pi Limited, the hardware manufacturer, will no longer be a subsidiary of the non-profit Raspberry Pi Foundation. It says charity, but I think it's more of a not-for-profit. Don't quote me on that. The foundation owned more than 70% of shares before the IPO and will reportedly sell up to 10% of its holding. Shares have climbed to $4.20. Nice. After Tuesday's IPO at $2.80. And I mean pounds. Sorry, not dollars. These are GBP. The response of the community has been generally negative, calling the move perhaps the end of Raspberry Pi as we know it, and the beginning of the end, with one Redditor declaring, "Let the inshfication begin." Sounds about right.
Already been happening, though?
I mean, it's already basically been happening.
Yeah.
It's been clear that they've lost their way for some time at this point. Which kind of sucks because, it seems like they could have just, still been really profitable and done really great. I mean, the one thing that I could hope for is that by raising this cash, they are able to invest in more manufacturing, which would be good because then maybe we could actually bloody well buy one at MSRP. That's my hope. That's my hope.
Yeah.
Oliver Bryant says, terrible news. No way we can ever stop this from happening. Can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Money kind of ruins everything.
Yeah. Like, I'd like to say that, like, it'll be fine, but I don't have a lot of hope.
Speaking of money, how about this message from our sponsor? No, in all seriousness, Dan, why is the Savage Jerky on the table? Are we allowed to eat it?
I think it just gets left
I
there.
don't know.
Oh, okay.
Business? Hello?
Well, I'm going to try Barbecue Bandit, and I have no idea if there's supposed to be a lower third for it. So why don't we call out the regular sponsor that we're definitely supposed to talk about, Secret Lab. Hey, look, my chair is Secret Lab. And then I'm just going to eat some jerky because I'm hungry. Anywho, Dan, I think it's time for After Dark.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
I had Conrad change the banner to After Dark button color, so I stopped pushing it. It happened twice, and that was too many times.
Okay.
There we go.
One of these days, After Dark should have flying toasters as the icon. Some people will get it.
Conrad, don't listen.
Yeah. There's lots of work to do.
Oh, he's already done it.
No.
No.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we got here? Hey, DLL, what goes into the decision to discontinue items? Is it they're no longer selling well, or are there potentially other factors like potential revamps? For example, sweatshorts, RGB sweaters, or flannels.
There you go. It's just a screensaver that came with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I completely wasn't listening because I was Googling After Dark.
Why do we discontinue items? What leads to that decision?
Oh, okay, yeah. Sometimes it's like if it's not selling anymore, or if the supplier that we were working with we are no longer able to work with them for some reason or another.
You might be able to guess.
Yeah, well, there's lots of different reasons. A lot of them they wouldn't guess.
That's fair.
Yeah. Sometimes we have something new coming that we think kind of makes the old one not necessary anymore. There's a lot of different reasons.
Do you have any updates regarding the backpack you gave to the miner?
No.
I don't know that we will. Yeah.
Hello, DLL.
I suspect it will end up similarly to the first one.
Eviscerated.
Yeah.
Hello, DLL. I love using my AirPods primarily because of its spatial audio for movies and TV. How important is 3D audio, such as Dolby Atmos, for you? And do you think it's being implemented well in mobile?
I gotta confess, it's not the most important thing to me.
ANC is probably closer to up there.
ANC is super important.
Transparency mode.
Having a really strong center channel is really important to me. I sometimes struggle to hear dialogue over the score. And I find that for me, not like when I miss something, it distracts me for an extended period of time.
Me too. I often just have to go back.
Yeah. And so, yeah, having a really strong center channel is really great for me. I personally find that most movies too, like even ones that are like best enjoyed on Dolby Atmos. Oh God,
I can multitask. I keyed it.
Even ones that are best enjoyed on Dolby Atmos.
I love that I keyed it.
We'll have at most a handful of scenes where like a helicopter goes over and you're like, whoa, that was cool. Where you can tell they just like they put it in just so that it's there.
Yeah.
Like it's not really that integral. Like if you told me that for the rest of my life I could only have at most a 3.1 setup, I'd be like, okay. Right? Like it's not bad. Obviously, if I was building a dedicated home theater room, I would put lots of channels in it. But yeah, no, I just it's not that big of a deal to me personally.
I'm a high school student that has been programming as both a hobby and career. Do
Nice.
you have any advice on what languages or technologies or even soft skills I should learn for a career in web dev after college?
Work on your people skills. I'm actually serious.
Yeah.
Learn to present, learn to sell. Sales is if you can sell, you can kind of parlay that skill into success
anything.
in any field. And when I say sell, I don't mean sell like a widget. I mean sell yourself, sell your ideas, learn to pitch ideas. It's so important because you can make your own career path that day. Like, unless you're at an enormous company, there is room to talk to people and to negotiate on just about anything. And if you have a really great idea and you can sell it, then you can end up working on stuff you want to work on, not every day. Every career has
more often
has some slog in it, but you can end up working on things you're passionate about and excited about a lot more often. So yeah, work on that.
Because sometimes you also have to understand that you might be selling through the person that you're quote unquote selling to. Like the person might even buy your idea really quick, but then they need enough ammo to sell it to the customer or to sell it further on in the company. So you need to give them enough to make their job easy so that they actually want to do it. Because it might not be their job, really. Their job is managing you. And if you want to do this new thing, you need to give them enough ammo that they're going to be able to fight for it easily so that they actually want to do that. Yeah, I agree with all of that. It sounds like you're already flexing your actual development skills well enough. But the people skills thing will help a lot because it's actually pretty hard to get managers in the development space. So there's a surprisingly easy career path there because there's...
And you have to know the development because you have to be able to speak the language. And I mean that figuratively and literally, right? Like you have to be able to communicate between the normies that make business decisions and the developers that do the work, right? And a lot of the time, those people have absolutely no common ground, no hope of interacting with each other in a productive way. So it's a really cool place to be. Like, I mean, okay, even for me, I'm relatively technical, but I don't know development. So if I was to try to work on a project like, let's say I wanted to do the badminton center thing with the machine vision scorekeeping. How would I have any idea if someone's just completely bullshitting me on their resume? If someone told me this takes a year, I'd be like, okay, right? And think about that.
Even if you
scaled way up, right? In an enormous organization, you need people who can call developers on their shit, right? No, that doesn't take a year. Stop playing banana clicker and get to work. This should be deliverable in 2 weeks, or whatever it is, right? And so that's a really valuable skill. And I mean, yeah, you're not actually like doing the work and, middle management sucks or whatever, but it has a value in that it reduces waste.
You might also be able to find a position where you do kind of like half and half. You still do actual, like you're actually still submitting code, but you're also managing people. It's not always, but you can find it.
I'm a tech for a large OEM, regularly let into server rooms with no ID verification and left alone for hours. Have you ever had anyone try to access sensitive areas by social engineering employees?
Physically? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I've caught us having some pretty notable vulnerabilities there, and we're working on it, but I don't think it's ever actually happened.
Which isn't an invitation.
No. We'll catch you. Well, actually, sort of, but for a different reason. I don't want to go into the details.
Oh.
And it was absolutely caught by Alex D. He did a great job. Well, I think it was him. I heard through grapevine of what happened. I know he was involved, I don't know if it was actually him that did it, but yeah, someone noticed something was fishy and stopped it. Person was not allowed in the building.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're still a small enough company that like people legitimately will mostly recognize everyone who works
It wasn't just a not recognize. It was like
Okay.
they sniffed it out. It was
nice.
sus. Yeah. It was good.
Good job.
I this is all I heard it third party. I don't know, but the information that I heard third party was very good. Great job done.
Getting my almost 9-year-old son a PC. Any tips on setting up a PC for kid-friendly use or controlling the environment a little more? Steam family sharing is a good start, but any other kid gamer tips?
Windows does technically have management tools. They kind of suck. Other than setting that up, Steam family sharing, Steam family sharing super good. There's no substitute for supervision, so just making sure you're kind of on top of that. That's about all you can really do.
Hi, WAN.dll. I'm using my Steam Deck to beat some NES games that I never could as a kid.
Nice.
You've talked about your favorite SNES or Genesis games, but what's your favorite NES game?
I didn't have a NES.
Me neither.
My
friend did.
Yeah,
Go
my
over
friend
there.
did.
Yeah.
Axel, if you're out there, thanks for letting me use your NES.
Adam, if you're out there, thanks for letting me use your NES.
Yeah.
They both start with A's. I don't know what's up with that, but
Nothing. I
Heck
mean,
yeah.
it's a 1 in 26
yeah,
chance.
it's also a pretty common one. I
Yeah,
think,
it's way less than 1 in 26.
than like X or
Yeah, exactly.
something.
What are you even talking about?
I don't know.
No,
But yeah, I don't know. I guess
yeah, Duck Hunt? I don't know. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. He only had like 3 games. He had like Duck Hunt, Super Mario Bros, and Blades of Steel,
Blades
or
of
whatever the
Steel.
like. I could still hear it in my mind. I can't say it in that low fidelity.
Yeah, I think it's Blades of Steel.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
it was so bad.
That was probably pretty good, actually. Oh man. Next up.
Yes. This week, my dad got a top spec MacBook Pro to browse on, nearly $3,200. I've
Ooh.
since got him to return it for a base model Air. Have you ever had someone unnecessarily
Nice.
get the top of the line product?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's got to happen in the automotive industry all the time.
Any
Why
car,
you got to make it a personal attack?
any car older than 5 years?
Man, yeah, I'm trying to think. In my life, people generally ask me before they buy a tech thing.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't
So
have
it
a lot of
doesn't.
experience.
I don't
with
think
that.
it really happens that much. I mean, there's definitely people internally here who have spent way too much money on tech stuff that I'm just like,
Whoa.
I mean, do you even watch the videos you edit? Yeah, but not like in my personal life.
I don't think this is a spoiler. Doing Scrapyard Wars made me want to do like a home theater build or something.
Oh, just because it's so affordable right now?
Seems like a good time.
Dude, you can get a GPU with like RTX, like HDR, whatever. Like you can get like a 2060 PC with a decent enough processor for like next to nothing. It's the capture card that's going to kill you because I don't think the used market for good capture cards is going to be that great.
I have a capture card though. I have an external capture card.
Then
That's
you're
like solid.
Then you're good to go, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can verify that I'm on Marketplace right now. Yeah, okay. Like a good brand name capture card is still going to cost you money. I mean, this $25 rando one might be fine, but if you want like something from, I mean, wow, it's like basically Elgato or Rando. There's an Media.
I didn't realize how much they ran that now. It makes sense, I guess. But yeah.
Man, Elgato is like do these guys have effectively a mindshare monopoly, or like what is going on here? Like there's one Media, Elgato, you green of all people, Elgato, like this is crazy. Anywho.
Hey DLL, I know Linus is a big fan of badminton and badminton gear. Are there plans in creating and selling badminton-related gear for LTTStore.com or the Pro Shop at the new badminton location?
I don't think that we're going to do the kind of volume that we would need to do in the Pro Shop to create specific products for it, but we will sell like our water bottles in there and stuff, I would think.
And I think one of the last ones I've got here.
It's really expensive.
What's expensive?
I have an old Epiphan AVIO, not
those are
4K.
Those are like $400.
Not 4K.
Oh, okay.
And I did not spend $400 on it.
Still, it's like $200 at least. What are those worth now?
I don't know. It didn't cost me that much back in the day. I don't know if I got it from here or what.
Probably.
We
had a handful.
Yeah.
You have like an AVIO HD?
I think so.
I don't think they've come down in price basically at all. I think they have FPGAs in them. That would be my guess.
Oh. Yeah, that'll do it.
Makes sense. Last one I've got for you here. Hi, LLD. What's a piece of tech that you've never had to upgrade over the years, despite new versions of it being released all the time?
Oh, I still have my old Harmony remote from like when I did a review of the Harmony remote. So when was that?
My guess is like 2011.
No, it would have been more recent than that. Oh goodness, not by much. 2014.
Oh, I thought this was like before. Okay.
So I still have this Harmony remote deployed right now.
Did you have one before this?
Nope. This was my first one.
Oh, weird. Okay.
I got it and I deployed it and I used it forever. Yep. Harmony remote.
It's the old setup. Okay.
All right, that's it. Sorry for the shorter show. There was a loss in my family yesterday, and the reason I'm bringing it up is that it may impact our schedule next Friday.
Okay. I'll make whatever work.
I'd like to keep the streak alive,
yeah.
But WAN Show may be at a different time next week. So what we're looking at is... I will have to be in the city at around
Is it like morning edition?
Before WAN Show would normally start.
Yeah.
So
it.
with that in mind, I would really rather do...
you want to do ultra late or ultra early?
Not my kids, not my wife, but immediate family. So... I'm probably going to be... There were a couple people who noticed in chat today. I'm a little off today.
I thought you did splendidly.
Thank you. I would like it to not be after, because I'm probably going to be obliterated.
Totally.
So we may have to do a bit of an early WAN show next week.
Morning show sounds fun to me.
Okay. So maybe just let the crew know, and we'll maybe do that if that works.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye.
I am tired, and it's time to go home.